proposal you been buying?
Ready for tonight. Should touch each other. That should be an obvious one, ladies and gentlemen. First game against the Chargers. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, as in the Ultimate Raider Fan 32 show goes. What's up, what's up, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? How's it going, Pigs?
Yo, Turf. It's going very well. Looking forward to this chat today.
Yes, you and me both, man. Everything is sounding fantastic right now to me. All streams are going. You know, I think we might have figured this thing out. If I want to knock on wood real quick, let's see. We always got to check to see if somebody is in the crowd, if they can, give us that head nod, that go ahead, that yep, things are sounding good. I see the thumbs up inside Instagram. Shout out to the wife on Instagram and any and everyone else that will soon be joining. We have a lot to talk about today. A lot. So much going on, man. But first and foremost, how you doing, bro?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I can see the stream is looking pretty smooth right now, so I think we're locked in.
Yes, I think we're finally locked in. Now it's just a matter of getting the crowd locked in, getting the chat locked in, and really getting an engaging show going here. I think we got it on track, man. I think if we can stay consistent, meaning me, right? Because it's never pigs. Shout out to Turf.
Oh, I got my threads today. I'm not.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. Is that Adams?
Nope. It's a draft pick of ours.
Really?
Yeah. It's a modern jersey, so
I
bet you could guess it.
That's Dante, or no?
Well, yeah, it's
more. Okay. That's what's up.
Yeah, Denarius Moore. I consider him a true Raider because he didn't really establish himself with another team, so he's really like he's only a Raider.
Right. No, absolutely. Man, I haven't seen that name in quite some time too. Now that you bring that up, how did you get a hold of that jersey?
Yeah, it was a special request. I really liked his style, so I had a friend traveling at West Coast and picked it up directly from the stadium. Actually.
Yeah, that's solid. That's solid, man. There's not too many 17s. That's why I was like, oh, hold on.
No, and when Adams was wearing 17, I mean, it's kind of convenient, 17. But to be honest, I liked Moore a little more. Like,
hey, don't we all? I mean, I have my ups and downs in terms of the whole.
Yeah, Adams, like, you just wish it worked out better. Like, obviously, he's a skill beyond skill player, but he'll be remembered for a lot of the wrong reasons for his time with us.
Yes, I agree. Unfortunately, man, I agree. And unfortunately for him. I mean, you're always once a Raider, always a Raider. So I'll give him that. But there's levels to it.
For instance, Moore. He owns 17 more than Adams does. So
yeah, exactly. So yeah, man, it looks like we got a few people in the crowd, man. Shout out to the chat, man. I mean, type. Somebody say something. I just want to make sure that I got everything going properly on my end. Usually it's me doing something. Somebody would have said something by now. But yeah, the stream is finally, for once, Turf got the stream sharp. I'm proud of myself with this one. I got it sharp. I think the sound is even more sharp than ever. Yeah, no issues at all today. So, but I don't see my people on Instagram. Here we go with TikTok. TikTok telling me I have to appeal. Shout out to TikTok, man. I don't understand. Everybody has this problem, apparently.
What is it they want you to appeal exactly?
They just keep shutting down my live, but then it just comes back up and people
since they changed ownership, that's
it's
just being like that.
It's very strange. A lot of people complain about it though. So yeah, man, a lot of news in Raider Nation land. What's the last thing you've heard that you can think of at a high level?
Well, I mean, I noticed the YouTubes and the Instagram's been pretty lively with their content drops. They're really trying to shape the narrative, it seems, and get people kind of buying in, which is kind of an interesting thing. May not have seen that in years past in the same way with the kind of content they're putting out.
Correct. No, I agree 100%, man. I mean, you got a lot of people in terms of what you would consider, right? Content creators, analysts, however you want to, call yourself here in these internet streets and streaming and platforms. But I mean, I think it's good to get a perspective from people like ourselves. You know what I mean? We've been Raider fans for how long? Like, you really actually know the game, right? You know the players, like you've studied, just the Raiders in general as well as myself. I mean, at this point, everybody should know that.
Yeah, it's a sacrifice.
It is, and I mean, I don't think people realize, man. It does take a little bit out of your day to keep up with this stuff. I mean, it's a lot going on in Raider world.
Yeah, something that just kind of popped into my mind back in the day. I mean, for me, is the internet forums. That was the place to be for news and information, and really kind of putting opinions out into the internet. That was the place.
Yep.
Before there was the YouTube and all this.
Yep. And now
I have a lot of fond memories of that.
Right, and I do see. Finally, we got a message. Some people are gonna love it and hate it, but shout out to Mac G 381. Get rid of Max Crosby already. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's saying.
Yeah, it's a conversation to be had. I mean,
it is. And I'm not against what you're saying, brother. I'm not against it, but hey.
It all depends on value. That's what it's always going to boil down to. He's worth something here. I mean, is he worth more somewhere else is the question.
Exactly. And what is that worth, right? What is
do you have a target in mind as to where you draw the line for Max as far as return?
I mean, absolutely two first rounders.
So you reckon one first this year and then a future first? Is that kind of the break?
Correct. Yeah. Correct. It's got to be one this year, one next year.
What about like a first this year, but also additional like second, third?
Yeah. No. Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, it depends, right? On, are we drafting a quarterback? Are we, trading back? That's really going to be important.
Yeah. Yeah, the kind of how you're loading up the roster is really going to determine whether Max is fitting into that picture as it was. If we are trading back, then it almost seems like a given that trading Max would be the right move.
Correct.
Because we're even less of a win now.
I agree. I totally agree. It's going to be talked about until something happens. I mean, he's not, right? They're not extending his contract. I don't think that makes sense. We just have
the days of long-term contracts is long gone. It's right. 3 years at most, really.
Yep. Yeah, so we just got to deal with speculation and, right, people spying and the paparazzi, acting like they have information when they really don't. and
I've
we have to argue about it.
I've tuned into a few other channels of other teams to kind of get the scoop on what the fan base is feeling in terms of
Yeah,
trading for Max, and it's interesting because they go through waves. There's moments in time where they're really high on trading for them, and then there's,
right.
for example, right now they're a little bit lower. I think all the discussions and talk, it leads to burnout for fan bases. They kind of just get tired of hearing about it over and over without any action.
Right. No, that would make sense. That would make sense.
But I got a guy here that we have a precedent of trading.
Who's that? Ah, Khalil Mack.
If you can see, that's a 1 of 10 there.
Yeah,
National treasure.
Khalil
So
Mack.
he's kind of set the benchmark as far as what you might expect for return on a trade of a guy that caliber. I don't know if Max is a Khalil Mack, though. That's the thing. Like 28 years old, coming off of multiple injuries. It's just it's hard to imagine a team willing to give up draft assets that are kind of useful for contributing to the win now mentality. Like first round picks are hard to part with when those players are expected to step in and contribute year one.
You are absolutely right, man. It's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be tough because anybody that looks at that history and understands in terms of Max, right where he currently is, it's a risk, and that's why it's tough to think that we are going to get a first this year, first next year, right? Multiples, etc. He's right at the cusp of, hey, do you get another year or two out of him? It reminds me of when I started discussing trying to part ways with Colton Miller. It was right at 29, 28, and nobody wanted to listen, and now we're stuck with him for life.
Yeah. Colton Miller, I think, is definitely going to be here till his retirement.
And I can't stand him. I can't stand him. I'm not even gonna lie. I can't stand him.
He's a very solid player as far as like doing his job, but he's not particularly dominant. He's not going to be pancaking consistently or kind of controlling the line and forcing the other team to react to him.
He did well in his youth. It's just as he got older, I mean, you could automatically just start to see, in my opinion, where things were going to go south. And immediately once one injury happens, you're going to compensate for that and create another. And I mean, hasn't been healthy in 3 years now?
Yeah, that's really the underrated part of injuries is how the dominoes start falling, because you start to adjust your mechanical structure as a player to compensate, as you said, and that puts more strain on other parts of the body, which increases the risk element, which ultimately is going to make it a lot harder for a team to buy into that trade.
Correct. So, although I do still think we get top dollar for him, I think,
For Max, you mean?
Yeah. If we,
I'm really starting to feel that like a team like the Lions would part with a first, a second, and a third, but I don't see them doing 2 firsts, because that future first next year is going to be worth exponentially more than this year because of the extra quarterbacks that are going to be in the mix.
Yep.
And you kind of look at first round picks as a bit of a lottery ticket at this point, just based on what happened with Chicago. They ended up with Caleb Williams first overall after trading out of their previous pick. So,
yep. I mean, some people will say it worked out. I don't know. It depends on who you ask, I guess, right?
Yeah. There's no such thing as an absolute win until the career's said and done.
Right. 1 second. I'm trying to log into Instagram.
Yeah, and I see we got a comment here saying we need that replacement lined up for Colton Miller.
Somebody. Yeah.
That's going to be essential in the draft.
Big time.
I mean, we got Grant right now kind of waiting in the wings, but it would be nice to have competition behind him as well. So it's not just reliant on one guy to potentially step in when Colton's kind of stepping down.
Correct. I agree. Okay. So what in the heck? Oh. Hold on. There we go. Man, I'm always... So we got my guy Chewy in the building. Hold on. I see a few. Hold on.
Oh yeah, the social stream link is working.
Yeah, it is definitely working, man. So we're gonna move over to that next joint. Continue. That is Chat Lives Matter. Everybody knows how Turf feels about Chat Lives Matter. I don't know what's going on with Instagram. But anywho, I do see Chewy's Raiders coverage in the building. Shout out to Chewy. That's good, OG. Appreciate you for coming through. Hope you enjoy the show. I'm definitely getting rid of this one. I don't know who that is, but it was a kick or something. But my main man, my family, bro, my cuz, Steve Jones in the building. We need to start looking for Colton Miller replacement. That's who you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's relevant. Very relevant.
Very, very relevant. At this point, I will be shocked if Colton can last the whole season. I mean, at this point, is he more of a detriment? I'd rather go with a young guy and get him that experience and have him fill in, right? You know, if you are going to get hurt, Colton, do it early. Sorry, I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer, but, it's for the betterment of the team. If that's going to happen, don't wait till the second half.
Yeah, holding out with an injury is not really going to do this team any kind of benefit. You would rather have someone like Grant get in there and get the reps and the experience built up.
Correct. 100%. Man, it's going to bug me till no end that I can't sign into Instagram on this thing. Instagram.
Do you have to be signed in order to get the chats?
Yeah, and that's why it's bothering me.
In the meantime, I can show you this here as a good luck charm for our drafts.
Hey, is that Peyton? Shout out to Peyton, man.
It's actually one of my favorite cards of his because it's a pretty cheap card, but it's also quite rare.
Really?
Yeah, it's his first year card, so it's not a true rookie card. So for that reason, it's really quite inexpensive, but as you can see, it's rather flashy.
Right. Yeah, that's a good one. I wonder why it won't. I don't have a pass key for this. Hold on. Raider fan 32.
And then probably the only other quarterback that I would have taken over Peyton Manning.
Over Peyton. Hey, you already know that's one of my all-time favorites right there, Mike Vick.
Yeah, not easy to select someone over Peyton, but there are exceptions.
Yeah, he definitely would have been an exception for sure. Are they the same draft class?
No. I think Mike Vick was 2003 or no, 2002 or 2001. I want to say,
okay.
And Peyton was like 99, 2000, something like that.
Gotcha.
No, Peyton was 98, sorry. So this card is from 99.
Okay. Now that makes sense. That makes sense. All right. So I do have...
Peyton Manning. That's kind of the justification for allowing a quarterback to struggle early on is he set the precedent for it.
Right. We got Not Bueno. Mendoza. Turf, appreciate you for coming through. Hope you enjoyed the show. Yeah, I'm definitely not a fan of that. I guess we probably will talk about that a little bit tonight, right? At least a little bit. Cheers to everybody. So yeah, I mean, you brought up a great video earlier today, right?
Pretty relevant to where we are as a franchise.
Absolutely, and I thought it would be perfect to show this and let's discuss it a little bit and see what people have to say. See what people's thoughts are if they haven't heard it yet. But yeah. This is I'll let you introduce it, right? Because you know more of the details than I do.
So So Mike Mayock, obviously we all know who that guy is. He's well respected in the draft community going back, as long as I can remember, really, like going back to the early 2000s, perhaps. He became our GM at one point and was kind of uncertain who he is responsible for drafting, but he was always explaining his logic behind picks and kind of strategies, and that was something that was quite unique to him. And so he's kind of popped up on the radar quite recently after quite a hiatus of flying under the radar. And he made some comments on this show that were quite relevant to where we are in terms of making a decision when it comes to quarterback. Right. The logic that he lays out is something that I think we can all kind of look at and consider when we go into the draft.
Yep, absolutely. And so I think we want to start at the 2-minute mark, is it?
Yeah, that's a good point. It kind of discusses Fernando, and then on the heels of that, I think there's some considerations.
All right, so let me see if I can get this thing perfect for you guys. Let me see. We're right here. You know what? We're just going to start it from the top. We're going to start it from the top. Fair use. Fair use.
500 years of football expertise and the future of the game. Powered by Sumer Sports. Come together. Breaking down the big board with the guys that were in the room. On today's panel, we have Mike Mayock, a former NFL safety and former general manager of the Oakland Raiders. We are also joined by Mark Ellens, Sumer Sports senior quarterback evaluator and former director of college scouting for the Jacksonville Jaguars. We're bringing it all together with the most sophisticated sports technology ever engineered. This is the Evaluation Quarterback.
Every draft, 32 teams go looking for the same thing. A franchise quarterback, a leader, a field general. But here's the thing. Every scout has a different definition of what that means. Is it arm talent, pocket presence, poise under pressure, or something you can't see on tape until the lights are brightest? In every game, everyone's looking for the guy. The hard part is knowing when you found him. Well, welcome to the Evaluation. I'm your host, Ator Ewan, and today we're talking the premier position in all of football. We're talking quarterbacks. And I am joined by Mark Ellens. Mike Mayock.
Yes, sir.
Mike, let's go through your first player eval.
I would make the argument from your intro that not only is it the most important position in football, I think it's in all of professional sports, okay? And I think the best place to start is the guy that just kind of had a magical mystery run this year, and that's Fernando Mendoza from Indiana. 6'5", 225, tall, lean frame. This kid coming out of high school, not highly recruited. He goes to Cal in 24 a year ago. He goes 6-5 and takes 41 sacks. Took a beating. Goes in the portal. Nobody was talking about this kid. Now, a year later, what do we have? He wins a Natty. He won the Heisman. He won the Davey O'Brien. He won every award you could win, leading a team to a national championship. And now the entire scouting community is looking at him in a completely different way. So let's start from a scout's perspective. Physical skill set, like his size, somewhat of a slight frame, very quick release. He's got a good arm, but not a cannon. Not a dynamic athlete, but he's a tough kid that can get north and south. We saw that in the national championship game, 4th and 5. Not only did he get the first down, folks, he scored the touchdown. Now, pocket mechanics. I love that his eyes are up. He wants to beat you with his arm, which is what an NFL quarterback should be thinking first and foremost. Also, I like that he protects the football. This year, 41 touchdown passes, 6 interceptions, and he doesn't put the ball on the ground very often. Here's the key to me, nervous system. What makes you tick in the most important games and times within the games? He embraces big moments. Nothing's too big for him. The games I did were all on the road against tough, well-coached team. The Penn State game blew me away. Final drive, ball's in his hands, clock management, and he fit every throw into a tiny window. The only negative I have is all the sacks he takes. I think he lacks escapability when the pocket breaks down, but I do like that he protects the football. What do you think?
A couple of the aspects I think he does really well. Very good short and medium accuracy, flashes a long ball. If the corner's playing soft, he's taking it.
Yep.
He's playing up, they're going to run the ball. He's just very efficient in that manner.
Where did you have him before this whole championship run?
I think he's got a good skill set. I don't see a great skill set. And I had him as kind of like a backup, quality backup, maybe spot starter. But as I'm going through the year and trying peeking at him in TV and doing a little bit extra film, I'm like, okay, he's growing on me, because when he needs poise at the most important time, he shows it.
So here's the question, okay? And I think you'll get a kick out of this too. Is kind of like one of the things in the scouting community we have to be worried about when a kid flashes in 1 year and takes off in the playoffs like he did. Is it sustainable? Or do you go back to your original judgment of him and say, you had him as a spot starter. I had him as a functional starter. Now we're putting him up here and saying, is he the first pick in the draft? It's a real concern, and every general manager in the league has to manage that process.
There's a lot of that discussion a function of a lot of the quarterbacks coming into this class who were highly vaunted and respected, not panning out, and maybe this being a bit of a weaker class than we thought?
But that's the trap. And put yourself in the head coach and GM's mind. If you don't have a franchise quarterback, you're just another day closer to getting fired. Reality in the NFL, right? So all of a sudden, all these quarterbacks drop out. There's no Manning, there's no Dante Moore, it's not a great quarterback class. So are we gonna artificially push guys up value-wise? Happens every year.
Correct. And I think the big thing too is, if you're the number one pick in the draft and you're seriously taking him, you have to be firm in your belief that this kid is a franchise quarterback. I think this kid's a good quarterback. I myself am a little bit leery that, is he really worth the number one pick in the draft?
That's where I'm going to pause it real quick. I'm going to pause it real quick because we're going to talk about that, right? Perfect segue to kind of, give our thoughts. I mean, it's easy for anyone to, if you've watched her, I am not a fan of this kid at all. Not even a little bit. I just see basic. I see a great, backup. Somebody that can, win games for you. You'll pay a pretty penny for him, potentially long term. For injuries, things like that. But as a true number one first round draft pick, shout out to my brothers, man, Raiders Syndicate. I told them today, and I'm going out on the limb, and I'm just going to go on and say it. This is going to be, I would say, 10 times worse than us picking Janty at 6. That's what I believe. I believe, for the people that will admit it now, that Janty was just not the right pick at 6, based on value, what you got in return, etc. I'm telling you right now, Mendoza is going to be 10 times worse, and it's for a lot of reasons, because now you no longer have those picks that you could have traded for to get the coffers full. You're going to have to probably play them, right? And that's the other thing, and if you don't, and now you're back to square one with Gardner Minshew and AOC battle. And I'm going to tell you right now, I see my guy AOC winning that battle all day. Twice till Sundays. That's another thing I brought up in our chat. AP wanted AOC to start. We've never heard him say it. But the reality is, AP wanted AOC to start. But the $15 million price tag is what caused front office to allow Minshew to get that nod. What's your thoughts on all of that, man?
Yeah, I think that speaks to the market pressures. Inevitably, the coach was not calling the shots, and it showed. There was a lot of lack of buy-in, and it wasn't just from one person. It was kind of all across the board. People were picking up on that energy, and it was spreading like a virus. So can't do that again. That is very detrimental to the team development, and ultimately that's what we need is development. The best man who wins the competition in camp should be playing. If we're truly to believe in this whole compete mantra that's been thrown around so often.
Yep, absolutely. Real quick, we got my dog Marcus Banks, 7572 in the building. Appreciate you for coming through. Hope you enjoy the show. Turf, much respect to you and always, my brother. We got I'm No Bueno, Mendoza. I gotta figure that one out. I'm No Bueno. I know who you are. Is that Big E from WWE? We got David Rainey, IB5SL, well respected until he drafted Jonathan Abram. And Garyon Connolly, yep, in the first round. That did nobody any favors. We talking about Mr. Mayock on that one. That was not not a good look at all. And last but not least, shout out to Josh with W8083. Again, bro, appreciate you for coming through. Hope you enjoy the show. Aiden O'Connell isn't good either. Better than Geno for sure, though. I don't know, man. I'm an AOC fan, even though his stuff is still on sale. Half price off. That's a beautiful salute to service helmet signed by yours truly, AOC. I have a few things by AOC, man. In fact, I have some cards, right, that you were showing. I have some really.
You got some rookies.
I got some good ones. I got a rookie one and a rare one that's actually was a pretty penny that I paid for.
Oh yeah. Kind of in hindsight, are you still confident on those investments? As far as
you know what, I do believe he's going to go somewhere, and I think if he can get into an offense like the Detroit Lions, I think he's better than Goff. I think he'll be better than Goff. I'm not a big fan of Goff, though, so it's not saying much. But I think AOC has a shot to be a starter in the league, not just a journeyman / role player. I do not think he's Sam Darnold. I'm gonna just put that up. I don't think he's Sam.
Yeah, to tie it back into the Mayock kind of segment, I think AOC is kind of an interesting example because when he was at Purdue, he had a really big year and then decided to stay with the team as opposed to declare for the draft on the heels of that really good year. And it's been kind of well established that the scouting community was really high on him after that big year and a lot lower in the following year because of the lack of building on the success. He still had good numbers, but there weren't the wins there to kind of enshrine those numbers.
Nope.
And so all that to say that it really is kind of swinging up and down whether or not scouts like a guy, just kind of depending on the team's situation and context. And that's kind of a strange thing as a fan because then it kind of starts to feel like the franchise is just trying to pick the guy that they can rationalize and justify to the fan base and sell tickets behind. And there's been a lot of examples of that, picking a quarterback in order to help the management look better as opposed to ultimately do what's right for the team.
Yep. Yeah, and hey, I'm not lying to you, Joshua W. I don't think Goff is good. I think Goff is a game manager, decent quarterback. When he has the right kind of magician behind him, a.k.a. Ben Johnson, right? Give him, one of the Shanahans, something from that tree. Absolutely, you're going to get productivity. But just as a quarterback, look, McVay, it says it all, in my opinion. You don't get a Jared Goff like that and immediately effectively trade him and win the Super Bowl right off the rip with the quarterback that you wanted. That speaks volumes, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care how you twist that. That speaks volumes. So,
yeah. The Lions' success, that's because the team has just been pretty solid all around.
They have one of the best defenses in every offensive weapon is covered. They have the best backfield in football. At least those last few years.
They invested in their offensive line. The defense is getting turnovers. It's a reflection of the coach. There's a lot of potential for a quarterback to slide right into that situation and have success. And as you mentioned, AOC, if he's if he's playing competent football, he's going to look good in that system.
I'm telling you, I'm nervous for it, guys. Look, I've already come to the realization that he's definitely not going to be a starter for us. Anything along those lines. It's tough. But I do believe the kid still has something. I really do. I believe AOC still has a legitimate shot. He just needs somebody that believes in him and can call his game.
Yeah, he's never really had the opportunity to cut it loose and play to win. He's kind of always been asked to let the defense win and just kind of don't lose the game for us. Which
Right.
is, he's done that, but that's not really how you develop as a quarterback. That's
No.
kind of hindering his development in some ways.
Bingo. I agree. All right, so we're going to come back to it, man. We're going to come back to it at the 5-minute mark here. And just to give a leeway, this is where they start discussing another quarterback, Mr. Cole Payton, who I think Pigs kind of.
Yeah, he's a cut above Miller. We'll start with that.
Kind of digging. So yeah, let's hear what they have to say.
Mark, take us through your first player eval.
Cole Payton from North Dakota State. He's a fifth-year senior, first-year starter. Played kind of as a gadget quarterback, running back in the past. Hurt his non-throwing shoulder a year ago, so he missed half the season. But to his credit, in 5 seasons, he scored 52 touchdowns, 31 of them running in his career. It's North Dakota State, it's FCS, but you turn this kid's tape on, though, and it's impressive. He's 6'3", 235 pounds. He's a big, athletic kid. He's got outstanding agility, and he's going to run. I think this kid's going to test really, really well. He can run the ball. He's a dual threat. He can escape. He's got a really strong, very good arm. He's got a very quick release. It's left-handed. It's a little unorthodox, but he does get it out quick. Very accurate. I thought this kid had excellent vertical touch. There's throws that he makes either under pressure or from the pocket on the move, and it is in the bucket. He's a dominant, smaller school player. I think he's an ascending athlete. He's very versatile. The big question is for him, 1-year starter, small school. Can he make the jump? I think this kid's ceiling is super high to the point to where I think he's the most talented, gifted quarterback in this draft.
Wow.
You just have some concerns.
Wait a minute, and that's a statement right there.
That it is.
I got to stop you for a second, okay? I'm putting my GM hat on there. If you were a GM, how high could you actually take the kid? You just told me that you think he's the best quarterback in the class.
Right, I think he's the most talented one, but that's the thing. That's what comes into play when you're the GM. You have to take all that information.
Dude, I just knighted you.
So-
You're the GM.
So,
Go ahead. How high?
Maybe we can pause it here,
If
Turf.
you needed
I
a
think we
quarterback,
could jump
here
in
we
here.
go.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that? Just based on what we had heard previously, and now kind of hearing that.
I mean, in all honesty, is what I love to see because these small-time kids aren't getting that fair look, right? And they are starting to get a fair look. I mean, hell, look what happened to us, right? Cam Miller. Shout out to Cam Miller, North Dakota State University quarterback, and a great one at that. Yeah.
That was Brady's guy. I feel that was his selection.
And he got scooped up. I forgot where he went, but I'm excited for him because I have a feeling he's got a better shot where he went than he did
He
here.
went to Miami. So McDaniels
He
targeted him.
did. He did go to Miami.
And I respect McDaniels. He is an offensive mind. He knows talent. And it's clear that he just needed time to adapt to the NFL game, and we put him on a practice squad and exposed him.
Right. No, absolutely right. Shout out the Raiders' first downs. He did not look well at the Senior Bowl. I am not going to use it against him, but he does have some good upside. And I believe he's referring to.
Yeah, Cole Payton.
Correct.
And the Senior Bowl is a good measuring tool, but it's as he said, it's really not the end all be all. There's been a lot of examples of guys balling out at the Senior Bowl and non-factors in the NFL and vice versa.
Yeah, fizzling out. And like you said, vice versa. Guys that, don't do that well or don't do much at all. And, come out second, third year Pro Bowlers.
Yeah. Later on in the Mike Mayock kind of podcast, Eli Manning comes on, and it really does kind of put a spotlight on the fact that when you're selecting a quarterback, you're really betting on the culture, the mind, as much as the arm and the talent. And when a player sticks with their school the entire way, like a Cole Payton, or even, in my mind, a Jack Strand, that speaks volumes to the kind of person you're drafting as well. And with a quarterback, that's pretty much half the battle. Is you need a guy who's going to buy into a program, make sacrifices not only on the time front, but their body, their mind, dedicating fully to the program. And so that's something about Cole Payton that stands out. Is I think if he's selected by a team, he's going to be giving that team everything that he has to offer, and not holding back in the slightest. And,
right. And he's a left-handed thrower too, right?
Yeah, that's a switch up.
It is a switch up. I mean, I like what I saw. I'll put it to you that way. And
he's a football player. He's not just a quarterback. He's a football player.
It reminds me of, guess who? Puka Nacua. Shout out to Puka Nacua. No, seriously. A football player. He's a football player. I mean, sure, he's a wide receiver, but stick him out there in special teams. Throw him in slot. Throw him in running back.
Yeah, that's honestly something I could see with a Cole Payton is, say we draft a couple of quarterbacks and he's not starting because maybe the other guy beats him out. I think he could still contribute to the team, as you said, in many fronts. And be of value to the team as a draft selection.
Right. Yep. Nope. I agree. And shout out to Joshua. I agree with your statement, man. The compete mantra don't mean anything when money is involved, unfortunately. This isn't the NFL we grew up on. I agree. I agree with that statement wholeheartedly.
Spot on.
Yeah, it's tough, man. And that's why it's so hard for us to continue to, be so invested with these teams. When it's just not the same. It's just not the same. I don't know.
No, they're trying to sell that the kind of the brand history that's been built up by the players and coaches that have come before, but there's been so many changes, and they don't necessarily want to be honest with how those changes have shaped the game, and they're still trying to pitch what it's built on, and that's just not the reality.
Right. No, I agree. So you did bring up Eli, man. This is the spot where he's giving his breakdown, man. This is actually, like you said, a good point to share. So let's have at it.
Mm-hmm. At the college level, they can throw the ball. They can throw it hard. They can throw it far. They can make all the throws. And I think when you go out there and you're throwing routes to your receiver, I think the easy thing to do, and you got all your guys out there, is you throw one or two of each route, and you go through the whole route tree, and you throw your hitch and your slant, your quick out, your curl, your out, your come back. You kind of go through it, and and you're so quickly, hey, let's go run 7-on-7 and have the that competition or run plays, which is great. But I always said, hey, instead of going through the whole route tree, when you're there, your receivers, hey, pick two routes. Hey, today we're gonna run 3-step slants, and we're gonna run 15-yard comebacks. And you perfect those two routes. It's not about doing it until you get it right. It's doing it until you can't get it wrong, and where it's just so dialed in. Every receiver is running that slant the exact same way. Every receiver is running that comeback the exact same way. If they are running a little bit different, you've run it enough times, you know how they're going to come out of that break. You've seen their body language. You've seen everything. So when you get into practice, when you get into the game, at that point, it's muscle memory, and you just have a great feeling for what they're doing. You've perfected those routes. Hey, the next day, we'll move on to 2 new routes. Or the next time we throw, 2 new routes. And you kind of, instead of throwing the whole tree every day, perfect a couple routes and then move on to the other ones.
Amongst fans, what do you think is the biggest misconception?
Is that it, or does he have more?
I think that's the main point that I think we should discuss.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
it shows the difference between the old ways and the new ways.
Absolutely, and that's why I stopped it, because it's so true. I'll take this from a different perspective, right? I'll take this from the perspective of the 10,000 rule. It's kind of like jiu-jitsu. You try your first arm bar, you are absolutely going to be terrible, right? But right after 5, it's like, oh, okay, I kind of have an idea. Right after 50, you're feeling confident. Right after 500, right? Now all of a sudden you're like, yeah, I can pretty much land this on anyone. And now you're at 5,000 and you're ready to, Try to holler at the higher belts in the gym, in the building that may not see it coming, right? And then at 10,000, you can land it on anybody, literally anybody. And that's what Eli is getting at. And I believe that is lost. I believe it's lost in where, hey, the route tree isn't, going to be your specialty, but the 1 to 5 and the 7 is, or right, the 3 to 5 and the 8 is, or, you do have something regardless of if anybody can pick up on it or not, because can't stop it anyways. That's what the 10,000 rule does for you. And yeah, I don't know. I just don't think you're going to see that. Like Eli's saying, those guys aren't with that mindset, because it's all about me more than anything else in terms of teammates.
So what you're saying, what pops out in my mind is that kind of football has become a showcase. Everyone's trying to show the next team, put on tape what they can do and what they can offer everybody, as opposed to sacrificing for the current team and doing what that team needs in order to advance.
Correct.
And, that really is a culture. And what Eli was saying was that he was willing to sacrifice time and not necessarily look like the greatest quarterback in the world, but ultimately he was building a connection with his players that was beyond words, something where it was so ingrained in both players' mind and memory that it was automatic, taking it out of the conscious brain and putting it into the deep brain. And when he throws the ball, there's just a level of trust that throw is the right throw for the player that the ball is going to.
Correct.
And, that's hard to do because there's kind of an element of having to humble yourself in that and not kind of show off, but really be willing to grind on the small details that might not get recognized in the same way.
And truth be told, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the tape. First and foremost, the proof is in the stats. The man won a Super Bowl. He's got a bowl on him under his belt. And like you said, those catches that, right, people thought, oh, amazing, out of this world, couldn't do it again, probably could do it 10 times over. Believe it or not, like the famous helmet catch. Obviously, O.J. Beckham, like that connection he had with those guys and being able to make those kind of throws on a regular basis is because exactly what he stated.
Eli was never known as the best arm talent,
at all,
best athlete, none of it. He was always kind of lower on the rungs. But what he did have was a lot of magical throws that were kind of unbelievable. And they weren't magical. They were a product of his process and the product of the team's process.
What I will give him is the IQ, right? Whether he earned it, right? Father helped him grow it, however you want to see it. Brother, his IQ is what allowed him to compensate for the lack of the other things that he had no athletic ability. I mean, even Peyton, for that matter. None of those guys amounted to their dad. See, that's the thing. I don't think anyone realizes how Arch was a baller. Arch could move. Arch had shakes. I mean, Arch,
that's the next generation, the up and coming Arch. He also is notable for scrambling and his movement, but it missed a generation.
It did.
Eli.
It did, and even that side, right, with the brothers in terms of Cooper, he had shakes and he had wiggle and speed. So again, that perfect combination, like you say, it skipped I don't know if you said generation, but it definitely skipped the first brothers, I believe. Or actually, I don't know. Cooper might be the older. All I know is they didn't get what Arch has from his grandfather. That the brothers did not get it at all. It was,
but that game sense didn't miss the ability to believe in the process and in your teammates and put the ball in a position where they could make a play. That is kind of ingrained deeply in them. Yep.
No, absolutely.
I wanted to kind of draw upon my my snowboarding background because I've taught snowboarding since like 2003.
Really? Yeah. Shout out to snowboarding, dog.
No, you can see some of my my gear back here.
Yeah, you know what? I saw that and I just didn't even think, I didn't even think about it in terms of if you actually still snowboard at this age, right? Because truth be told, let's be real, it is a little dangerous.
Yeah, I've had some concussions. It doesn't come without sacrifice.
It's a little
part
dangerous.
of the game.
Yep.
But lessons help. That's one way to reduce injuries, is ensuring that you're kind of being guided through the process and not just going head first, because that comes with a lot of extra risk. A lot of people kind of back off the sport after they get hurt.
What I used to do is just fall on my butt. When I started
common.
too fast.
The brakes, the trusty brakes.
Dude, I would start going too fast and get nervous. Like, man, I am not going to be able to stop. And I'm going to blow out a knee or something, and my whole career is over. I just fall on my butt, bro. That's how I learned how to snowboard till I finally got the hang of it. And
yeah, there's a big risk zone there as you're learning, as you're kind of developing the skills. Where you're kind of put at way more risk than you would otherwise if you were learning with an instructor.
Correct.
But the key kind of part of instructing that I'll kind of touch on as it pertains to what Eli was saying is that whenever I was developing skills for myself as kind of personal rider improvement, the ways that I made the biggest leaps was kind of dialing in on a specific skill, developing tools and tactics to expose that skill such that you're vulnerable in a sense. Your weakness is kind of exposed, and then you're able to patch it up, work on it, develop it, and then incorporate it back into your normal riding. But in order to expose it, you're having to do drills or tactics that are exposing your weaknesses. Like, and if you don't do that, then you don't know what you need to correct. And that's a funny thing, because as a pro, someone who's really good at the sport, you don't necessarily want to be looking foolish on the slopes, but that's one of the best ways to improve as an athlete.
Yeah,
to put yourself in a spot where you are more vulnerable.
Now, I was going to say, for people that don't have good balance, like, what do you suggest? Because that would be the biggest question I would assume you get. Like, they're just clumsy, no balance, no depth perception. Like, they just don't have that.
Yeah, something that often gets overlooked is the work that you do outside of the slope, like in the gym, for instance. There's a drill called airplanes, which is, I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's, I'll just show because it's easier to show.
Yeah,
basically, you're on one foot. Then you turn back, right?
Okay.
So there's a lot of small muscles kind of being activated through that motion, that if you just do it a few times and then you go onto the slope, that's going to take out so many of your wobbles and your small shakes, and ultimately lead to the fear reaction, which leads to the falls.
Right.
Yeah.
Shout out to Big.
Small drills will make a big difference.
Yeah, absolutely. See, I've never gotten lessons to that extent, It's
priming the muscles, right? If the muscles aren't woken up, then how can you expect them to react on the slope? So doing those little drills before jumping on the hill can prime your body to be in the best position to perform.
Right. We got Raiders first downs. Pigs. Hey, man, good job on the live side, brother. I enjoy your chats on other channels.
Oh, yeah.
You both Raiders first downs. That's why I got them on Monday nights. And I'm going to keep them on Monday nights as long as they'll have me and keep it going, man, because I love his takes, too, even though, I don't agree with anybody 100%. But
yeah, this is Jason, as I believe. He's on with Jeff quite consistently, and I see him there.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, and you already know Jeff is my guy, man. Shout out to Jeff Raider 401, my East Coast brother, my Northeast friend. Yeah, we'll be at the draft. Yeah, we'll be at the draft, so we'll finally be able to kick it. We didn't get enough time when we had the Patriots game. It was just way too much going on with the Al Davis ceremony and, all that other stuff. And then I was back home myself, so we didn't get much time. But, yeah, Jeff and I will definitely be chopping it up come yeah, the
The draft is a big opportunity for all kinds of things.
Right.
Developing connections, content. There's a lot of opportunity there.
And I expect all of that to go down, ladies and gentlemen. You are going to have all of us there. The Raider Syndicate, 808 Raider, 805 Raider. Everybody's going to be there. Everybody's going to be there. So, yeah, it's going to be dope. I'm excited. I'm not excited about who we're going to pick, though.
It seems inevitable at this point, right?
I don't know how we get out of it. I mean, like you said.
You need to bring that sign,
right?
Defense wins championships.
Yeah, man. Yes, because I don't know what's going to happen. It's like you said, we got to convince somebody else he's worth number one. That's
right. Yeah. If you're trading out of the pick, you can't be saying he's not a franchise quarterback. That's not going to fly for the purposes of getting return on investment.
It's not. It's not at all. Man, my dog, man, my bro, I haven't seen you in a while. Raider Nation, Jason in the building. Appreciate you for coming through, man. Hope you enjoy the show. Turf the Legend. Salute my guy. Hope you're doing well, man. I know you got that new grandson. All that good stuff, man. I haven't seen you in a while. My schedule is wild myself. I used to chop it. I see Raiders First Downs. He's talking about the Saturday show. Doing the Raider Nation voice. It's calling. It's a blast on Saturdays. So, hey, for all you Raider fans, get out there, man. Get on these mics and talk your talk. Yeah, dial in, talk your talk. Get on these phones. I have to see what's up, man. I'm in gymnastics somewhere in the Big Ten every Saturday. This time is Sunday though. This week we got the Big Fours. Shout out to my Gopher girlies. They did their thing, man. My daughter yet again got a title in vault. So she got another championship title in vault against who was that we just competed?
Penn State?
Yeah, no, that was the week before.
That was the previous one. Okay, so they're on a roll right now.
Yeah, we're on the roll right now. And I can't believe it was Washington, University of Washington. UW, Seattle. Man,
taking down the big dogs.
I know, right? Yeah, I can't believe I forgot to hit my boy up. Sorry, Micah. Got to see some old college friends from Montana State University. Always a beautiful thing, man. And yeah, they took home a W. I digress. I don't mean to derail things, but that's what happens when you run into people you haven't seen in a while, bro.
I think all sports have so much merit for taking bits and pieces and tying it into other sports. Like football, a lot of the best athletes are multi-sport athletes. And whenever you kind of discuss other sports, you're kind of bringing new ideas to the table that often get overlooked when you're so honed in on one sport.
Absolutely, man. I mean, could you imagine the amount of crazy wide receivers and tight ends we would have if the NBA didn't exist? Seriously.
Yeah.
Pretty much every point guard in the league would be something disgusting.
Well, Rajon Rondo right now, like he's looking pretty unreal in flag football, just distributing dimes all over the field.
I'm telling you, man. And the one guy that I will always bring up and will never ever forget their high school career. Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson out of Virginia. I don't think people understand. Allen Iverson was a dog in football. He was in high school. I don't care what anybody says. From what I saw, I would say he was better in football than he was in basketball in high school. Yeah. Bro.
I don't know if you can see that, but I got my Iverson Lego guy.
I can't. Allen Iverson, bro, was that guy. And he's got a funny story out there where he explains that during his first year in college, right, going to Georgetown, the way he had to, walk, he would have to walk by football practice. And he said he would literally cry every time because he wanted to play football. And one day he got the courage to tell John Thompson, "Hey man, what you think about me playing football?" He said he had never heard Coach curse or anything. He said he cursed him out so bad.
It's funny.
He said he cursed him out so bad he never, ever again thought about playing football. That's how bad he cursed him out.
I think he knew he would have been really good at football. That tells you
Exactly. He knew, like, man, you gonna get out there and get a starting quarterback contract. Like, dude, Allen Iverson was outstanding in high school.
Yeah.
And he did it all. Again, we're not talking just a quarterback, bro. We're talking a football player. Now, he right defense, offense, special teams. I mean, he returned punts, kickoffs. He's quarterback, wide receiver, running back, safety, right? Like, he did it. Oh, man. We've been
special when you see an athlete dominate at multiple positions.
Bro, we are very, very lucky human beings to see these guys, man. Allen Iverson, I don't think people really understand what kind of a treat that.
No, I've got this for a reason. I consider him one of the best. He didn't have the championships, but ultimately his contributions to basketball are pretty unmatched, I would say. Like global reach, global impact.
Absolutely. Unmatched it is, man. So let's jump into our one of two topics of the night, man. We already an hour in this thing, man. Rob's defensive scheme potential.
Yeah, big thing to unpack because it's a big mystery.
It is. What are your thoughts, man? Give us your initial high level.
I like the fact that nobody knows what he's going to do. His script is kind of unwritten at this point, and in some ways that's kind of exciting and liberating because the players they're not living in a confined box right now. They have a lot of potential for things to come about organically, especially bringing in talent and drafting. There's kind of a potential for him to go the route of a Flores, which that demands a certain kind of athlete and a certain kind of player in that system. So if in the free agent market we're able to kind of pitch that to players as the direction we're heading, that could be a huge advantage for convincing players to buy into that. What are your thoughts on it, Turf?
I agree. I think it's like you said, it can be considered, perfect timing. Shout out Shadur Sanders. Seriously, right? The perfect timing, baby. But it's kind of, that's where I give the thumbs up in terms of, right, young coach, rookie coach, somebody coming in to bring their philosophy, not really knowing if it's going to win, lose, or draw. I mean, there's no history, right? I mean, he's not been a defensive coordinator anywhere else in his career, not even high school for that matter. So it's a lot.
His book's unwritten right now. There's a lot of pages to fill.
It's completely unwritten. And, I mean, he could be that guy, man. He's been under the tutelage of a lot of brilliant defensive minds. Mm-hmm. Just the fact alone that he's gotten under Pete Carroll's belt. I know it hasn't been good. I get it. I know. But the truth be told, the fundamentals, the things that I'm sure Pete taught, even if it doesn't fit his system, it helps him hone his skills for his.
Yeah, because you're always kind of gauging things and creating benchmarks, and that's super important for building solid foundations.
Exactly. And he's been pretty much everywhere that they've had a pretty solid defense, or he's been around solid defensive-minded people. So I'm hoping it pans out for him because it pans out for us. My only fear is it's going to take time. And are we going to give him the right amount of time, right? Including everybody else on this coaching staff and front office who are babies in this world of football as far as the NFL is concerned. And that includes Tom Brady. He's a baby in this. Dude, we get it. Yes, you're the GOAT. You've won all these Super Bowls, etc. But running a front office, You've never had to see this angle.
We're in a learning environment, so it's crucial that guys who are having this opportunity that they might not get elsewhere to really capitalize on it and use it for learning and developing their systems in ways that is unique to the Raiders.
Now, so that would be my question to you. What do you think? Where do you think he will have a propensity for? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what do you think his tendencies will be in terms of, is he more of a run stuffer / what's your thoughts?
I think it's going to be mixing up pressure and keeping offenses off balance, which is kind of leaning into what Flores does so well. Because he was in Miami working with Flores as a assistant, I think in a lot of ways he would have picked up on a lot of those tendencies early on when Flores was fleshing them out and developing them. And in some ways, as an assistant, you're kind of a sounding board, someone who's working with the head coach to develop those ideas. So I'm hoping he'll bring those principles to the table and really try and make use of them, because ultimately Flores is, in my opinion, the best in the business. And the only guy that I kind of had near him is PG, but PG wasn't able to put all his cards on the table. So, as long as he's able to do what he wants to do, I think he'll find success.
And that's, again, seeing we're stuck at this crossroads because we don't know. We absolutely do not know or have a clue of who's really true and calling the shots. Right? So you have to believe that Rob absolutely needs defensive linemen. I mean, he's got to replace Wilkins, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's his first thing on his mind. Are they going to give him that? He's got to replace, right, White. And this is, we're diving, we're going, I don't want to go into it yet because right now we're kind of bleeding into the next topic area, but that is something that I definitely can't wait to discuss in terms of.
Yeah, you're only as good as your talent. There is kind of a hard cap on what the system can do.
And how he's going to fill those coffers and where he's going to go about it. Like, does he have say in free agency? Is he going to go with vets in terms of secondary, or is that more of a linebacker, or is he going towards the line? Like, where does he want the experience? Where does he want to take the risk? These are all great questions for a first-time defensive coordinator that, has typically been known for his defensive front as far as his front four, right? Being a D-line coach.
Yeah, no, it's going to be crucial that he has input.
Oh yeah,
I don't want to see what's been done the past few years, and we need to move away from that. Like, that needs to be in the past and turn a new page.
Right. Shout out to Nav, man. Who the paper boy in here on screen, bro? Nav man is crazy, man. Base 4-3 hybrid, much like Mike McDonald's scheme. So I assume that's what he's saying, that Rob is gonna lean towards. Which if I understand, we don't have that. Like, that's my fear. We don't have that at all.
Yeah, it's the way the offenses are going right now with tight ends and such, but also just the passing game being so crucial. If you're in a base 4-3, you do need linebackers who are borderline safeties. It's really not possible to be running pure linebackers anymore. So you can say base 4-3, but those linebackers need to be able to cover zones and deep zones.
Absolutely. And again, do we have that? Do we? I mean,
not in our previous lineup.
No, and that's the thing. You don't just get everything you need overnight. I don't see that being the case. I don't see that happening. I see multiple years needed to even understand what it is that you're looking for. You know what I mean? Because that's the thing. He's a rookie. What is your defense? Where have you shown, what your philosophy is and what you're gonna attack?
When he was with Miami, he was a linebackers coach for a period of time, and so working under Flores as a linebacker coach, I really hope that he's picking up on what you need in a linebacker and is able to identify that in the draft, and we'll have the ability to work with our GM Spytech and identifying the correct guys to bring in, because I don't think it'll be through the free agency. I think it'll be through the draft that we fill those gaps, and we're going to have a year or two of runway to develop those players. And again, that's why I don't really see Max fitting into our current game plan, because I think that going heavy on the draft is going to, we're going to have mistakes. There's going to be ups and downs, and that's just not conducive of consistent winning. But it is conducive of consistent development. And, the coaches are developing alongside the players. That's kind of the ideal scenario, is that we go heavy in the draft.
Yeah, are you impressed with their last draft?
There were players I liked, but again, I think I'd mentioned in previous chats that I didn't like the draft slots we took those players.
Right.
Like I like Porter, but again, he's older. He lacked production and experience. That's a round or two later to ultimately where we took him. There were other players who I liked that I would have preferred to have taken. I still believe in those players, but they're development players. Grant, Rogers, development players. They need to play. They need to get better.
Right.
And work through their mistakes, get the experience. And so that opens the door to another draft of getting players and plugging them in right away. And, I want to see linebackers drafted because I look around the league and I do see the league changing. And I think there is a new breed of linebackers that are going to be relevant in the coming years. And if Rob Leonard's able to identify who those guys are and develop them, that's going to be kind of justifying putting him in the position he's in with his linebacker experience, leveraging it.
Yeah, that's a great point, man. And I'm curious to see what we have in this draft in terms of defensive guys, right? I'm not going to lie and say I know a whole lot about this year's draft class because last year's was so wild to me. I did so much research on all the running backs. It was just a dream. Last year's draft was amazing for me. It was, in my opinion, the best running back draft class of all time. All time.
It was an exciting draft class for running back. Every round there was guys that you wanted to take a look at.
Every round, even the seventh round, every round, and then you have draft
Manunga.
Yeah,
that was my guy. I really was hoping we would draft Manunga in the late rounds, but I don't know. It didn't happen.
Right. So, this year, what's going on? Where's this draft heavy? Is it the wide receiver? I hear wide receivers are fairly heavy.
There's going to be a lot of boom bust players, especially at wide receiver, guys who could potentially be superstars like a Jordan Tyson. But then there's the high risk component where does he have the frame to hold up in the NFL? He's already shown injuries in college. Unfortunately, injuries are just a reality of the sport. And a team that drafts a player who's high risk of injuries, they're gambling. And can you afford to do that in the position we're in? I don't think we can. I think we got to draft players who are shown to be solid frames, solid athletes who can, last their entire contract with the minimal potential of injuries. So guys like Jordan Tyson, I would steer clear of, even though I think he's potentially a number one and a superstar.
Right. No, absolutely, man. That makes a lot of sense. Shout out to my dog, my guy, 805 Raider. What up, fellas? Appreciate you for coming through. Hope you enjoy the show as always, my man. Then we got Nav Man. Nav Man, he's always got something to say. Completely disagree with this young man. Linebackers are out there after March 11th that will take a bit of the drama away from a rookie linebacker room.
Yeah, I'm not worried. I don't think we're in a position where we're winning 10 games. I would be fine with linebackers making mistakes and learning on the fly. to be quite honest. It's a non-concern that we have a guy in there who's doing the right things, but the ceiling is capped by age or just a lack of athleticism. I think we need athletes at linebacker, guys who are borderline safeties, as I said. The guy who stands out right away in my mind is a Sonny Styles. He's someone who I would love to have on the team.
Yeah.
I don't know how it happened, but he's kind of one of the guys who I think is the future of the NFL. There's been a lot of failures at that position of guys like him in the past, but I think he's different.
I mean, Diablo, right? Diablo comes to mind in terms of, right, that
the high ceiling, but just not reaching it.
Not reaching it at all. And a lot of people felt he did not come close to reaching his potential in terms of Diablo. Definitely a Raider favorite, though. Raider fan favorite. He got a lot of love in Las Vegas and from the fans just in general across the board. I didn't hate him, but he wasn't there. He wasn't it. He
wasn't as solid a downfield tackler that I think you need as a linebacker, and that's why Sonny Styles stands out. His tackling is elite. There's you can't question his tackling, and he has the safety background, and so the combination of elite downhill tackling and the safety background, that's a nice pairing.
Yep.
I think so much of your back end's play is dependent on your line. So if you are going to get veterans, the line is where to get veterans. But we have a couple of those already on the line. Adam Butler being one of the main guys. I knew you were going to hit the button.
Yeah, I don't like it. I should like Adam Butler. I just don't think. I think that was his last year.
Yeah, I don't want to overpay a guy.
No.
I think he's already gotten paid more than probably he would have gotten elsewhere, but it's hard to say. It's always a bit of speculation.
I agree, man. I couldn't agree more. I think he totally could potentially be overpaid. He had a decent year. I'll leave it at that, right? Decent year, but as far as hanging our hat on him to lead that room, no. He's a filler. Need a guy.
You'd prefer to have a defensive tackle who's able to control both gaps, collapse the pocket, demand double teams. Someone who's truly dominant with high upside, but obviously that's going to be highly sought after in the draft. So. Correct. You have to spend those top picks on those kind of guys.
Right. Sounds like Jalen Carter, who we could have had over Tyree Wilson. I will never forgive that pick. I will never forgive McDaniels over that pick because the way that I was told, he 100% was the reason we picked Tyree Wilson. And
I mean, he had Chandler Jones back in New England, so I think that was the vision. And that was kind of hinted at a number of times by various beat reporters, Hondo being one of the guys, saying he was Chandler Jones 2.0 in his prime at the gate. That was the quotes around the time when we drafted him. But that foot injury, and I don't think the foot injury was a good excuse, to be honest. I think he's just not a true football player. He's more like an elite athlete who is dominating the competition, which back then that was pre-draft portal and that kind of deal. I think he was going against guys who weren't NFL talent and looked good. And he still looks good against guys who are below average.
Look great.
So that translated, but
no, I agree, man. I agree. 805, don't you be talking about my guy Butler. Yeah, Butler. I mean, don't get me wrong. He did a good job. He did what he was supposed to do. And it's unfortunate because I think he would have looked and done a lot better with Wilkins on his side, and I think that dynamic changes that whole front four. If Wilkins actually could have came back healthy, right, and be that guy like that dominant force you just stated in terms of double teams, all those good things. Now Butler's causing havoc. And then you got Max and, you know what I'm saying, Kuntz or or whoever else on that opposite end that really can cause problems.
Yeah, it made sense, the kind of vision that was being put out there, but yeah, I thought Wilkins was a high risk signing. I understand why they went after him, because those guys just don't hit the market typically, so you pull the trigger on it. But even still, like, I would have preferred to have taken a guy like Jalen Carter, as we've already discussed,
Right.
versus paying a guy in free agency.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I'm with you. I'm 100% with you. Well, I mean, hey, it's time to move on to that next topic, if you will, because we've gone through Mr. Defense. Hold on. Chose the wrong one. 1 second. And that is roster construction and draft strategy. This is a good one, because I'm glad we kind of segue into this, as you eloquently put it earlier, in terms of how we wanted to lay this format out today. And it's because, right, Leonard's going to need to fill those coffers. How are they going to go about it? How are they going to construct this with all of the holes that are necessary? What is the strategy going to be? Are they going to trade back and get rid of Max? Are they only going to do one or the other? What's your thoughts?
I'm, as I think has kind of been hinted at a number of times, I'm all in on the draft. I think this whole weak draft class is super overrated. I think every draft class has high risk, high reward, all these things. It's just dependent on your ability to identify fit, talent, and potential, and that relies on your staff to do their job and pick what's best for the team, not necessarily what's best for the selling tickets, this kind of thing, or some other agenda ultimately. I really love the defensive side of the ball in this draft. I think there's a lot of really solid football players who are lower risk than on the offense. And I would trade Max. I would trade back. I would stack as many picks as possible. And I would let it play out. I'd let young guys get burned. I don't really care if we have like 4 or 5 wins, because ultimately that's still better than the past few years.
Absolutely.
So I don't know what we're doing signing veterans and then getting no results. That doesn't make sense to me. I want to see competition in the quarterback room. I'm fine with drafting smaller school guys and putting them against O'Connell. I don't care about the idea of starting or not starting a young guy. Like, that's a non-factor. Start the guy who looks the best in training camp. That's kind of what I believe. If trial by fire just doesn't make as much sense today as it did years ago. When guys were getting smoked back in the past, where you're getting a helmet put in your spine, like, that's a problem. But today, when flags are protecting you, I think you're okay if you're 6'5" and like 230 pounds. Like, I think you can take a shove or a push and not have it ruin your day. I don't know. Getting sacked in the NFL is not what it used to be.
Right. No, I agree, man. I agree. It's definitely not what it used to be. Just sports in general, right? Somebody made that comment at the beginning of the show. It's like how it came full circle, just like that.
Yeah, the game has changed.
It's absolutely changed. You've hit the nail on the head with a lot of different scenarios and new ways of defending, right? The new offenses, right? And I think that linebacker position is going to be key.
People have been saying that's a low-value position for the first round. I don't buy it. I see Sonny Styles as a high-value guy to draft. I see him as a linebacker. I see him as a safety. I see him as what you would hope to have 2 or 3 of on your defense.
Right.
I think loading up on linebacker early is a lot better than some of these linebackers late. Everyone's saying it's a deep linebacker class, but I see linebackers being crucial to elite defenses in today's NFL. For sure.
But my question is, what are we going to go for, right? Because we know the chances of you getting 2 rock stars, right? You expect to get a rock star first round.
Schlesinger last year, he was a rock star in the second round. He went a little before we had our pick in the second round, but Cleveland, they made the right selection with Schlesinger.
I was gonna say, and isn't he a free agent now? Did they let him go? Or am I thinking?
No, he was just drafted last.
Right. No, I know, but there's somebody. There's a cornerback they just let go of the Browns. The Browns they're going to let go someone that we could absolutely use like yesterday in right corner. So, hey, we got a Kalasari 7503 in the building. Hi, I'm a new subscriber. Appreciate you for coming through, my guy. Hope you enjoy the show. It's time for both of our franchises to become respected again. It's been too many years. What franchise is that? Is that a Dolphins helmet or hat? Yeah, it looks like a Dolphins. That's definitely Miami. Believe it or not, Kalis, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, Kalasari. Yeah, man, that is kind of somewhat my second team, right? Half of my family's from North Miami, right? My pop side. Shout out to those Crumps, crazy Crumps, and yeah, that's true. It's time. The Dolphins don't look any better. Although I actually like your roster better than ours, for sure. Our roster is bad. We have a bad roster, Pigs. Like that's why it's like, where did you even begin?
I just pulled up Schlesinger's stats. He had 146 tackles, 11 tackles for a loss, 2.5 sacks. Like that's a second round starting rookie. Like I think that's kind of what you expect these days out of a second round player. It's not somebody that you're hoping will develop into a player. You want a guy who's playing.
You don't expect Jack Bash.
Development players, yeah, that's
I still want whoever's head that is. I want them to drink car engine coolant by accident.
Well, I mean, I think Besh still has something to prove. Like he's not.
I'm not a Besh fan. At second, bro,
draft value.
There's nothing he can do moving forward that's ever going to give him the value of a second round.
At what round would you have felt comfortable with a Besh?
Fifth round.
Fifth round. Shoot. Yeah.
Fifth round.
That's a big gap.
Big, huge, and that's why I'm trying to still figure out why he got picked in the second. I didn't understand it. Yeah, I didn't understand it, man. I really truly did not understand that. I don't know. It's the biggest. That's the biggest mind boggler. I mean, I get it. Patriots and McDummy doesn't know how to use Travion Henderson, so it is what it is. But he got picked in the second round. We could have had Travion Henderson, who I think is a better running back than Ashton Janty. Go figure.
Yeah, that opens the door to taking McMillan as the first round, and then Henderson in the second. That would have been pretty unreal.
Oh man, are you
pairing that with Bowers? Yeah, that would have deadly.
Dude, that would have been insane. But no,
I really believe in McMillan. It's tough because I want to, as you know, I love running backs. I want to see Janty have success, but
we all do. We need him to have success.
Yeah, it's one of those things, man. Because running back is my favorite position. So
right. Oh snap! Shout out to Collis. Hey man, I'm your neighbor, man. I'm right up here in Pflugerville. To be exact, I'm a northern neighbor. I live in Austin, Texas, and at least we don't have Jerry Jones as our GM. I couldn't agree with you more. Although he's better than Al was at this stage, I will give Jerry that. But I still wouldn't want him. You're right. They're struggling and suffering, Colin. They will suffer till it's over.
Yeah, that's he's He's got his hands over everything there. There's Jerry Jones DNA on
He's the
everything.
GM, bro. He's never hired a GM. Oh wow, Collis is in Pflugerville. No way, Collis. No way you live in my hood, man. Falcon Point, man. I'm getting too close, Collis. I'm in Falcon Point, bro. Where you at?
That's a big state, isn't it? Texas, the chances of being close to someone in Texas.
It's a country. Exactly. That's why this is wild right now.
Needle in a haystack.
Yeah, and I can't see his picture because Pflugerville's still not that big, considering. Don't get me wrong. Originally from Killeen. Okay, yeah, that's military land. It's about 45 minutes northwest of Austin, close to Waco, past Temple. But yeah, good to see you, man. Appreciate you for coming through. I'm glad we got some locals, man. I can't wait. That's the thing, man. So I want to do more local stuff here in Austin because there are some big chapters, believe it or not, in all of Texas. To be honest, Texas might have the biggest chapters, even more so than California, in terms of Raider fans. As far as the Houston chapter, the San Antonio chapter is wild and off the chain, as well as Dallas. So, yeah, I mean, ours is pretty cool. Don't get me wrong. Austin is dope. If you didn't know, Collis, High Five, I think it's called. High Five. It's like a whole bowling alley, eatery, video game arcade, all in. So
there's some events already running, but you're wanting to do something a little different or new or fresh
or at that event where the known Raiders bar spot is, kind of like how Jeff did up in New England, and kind of latched on and then found a great place. Now they really do a great job up there. But yeah, I just want to do some things local because I'm definitely, no matter how good we do, yes, it's not Spare Time. That's in Pflugerville. It's High Five or Mile High. It's off of Anderson Lane. Yeah.
I wish it was possible to tap into a guy like Woodson and get some events running under his brand or his flag, because he's someone who, if you get the ball rolling, maybe he'll show up.
Well, so the funny thing is, it's shout out to Chris, man, Protect the Shield podcast and Shield Squad. I believe at one point they probably still do have a sponsorship with Woodson Whiskey.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so
that's pretty like his brand is developing, so it's kind of interesting. A lot of ways it can go.
Exactly, and I don't know how that kind of worked out completely. I'm sure he still obviously sponsors, and you're right. There are other content creators, right? They kind of
tying it into physical events or brick and mortar, like an actual space, a physical space, and have it be central to that.
Right. Maybe
build the event around it, or kind of in some kind of interesting, innovative way. Like, there's a lot of potential for those kinds of things.
Yep. And 805, you hit it right on the head. It's a huge, big Raiders club in Dallas. Chilled with them when I lived in North Texas, and it is ginormous. It's a lot of Raider fans. There are a lot of Raider fans everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Don't let this whole notion of America's team and all this other stuff fool you. It's silver and black everywhere. So just FYI.
Yeah, I think heading south as well, like Central America, all through there. Like if you're wearing Raiders gear, you're gonna get shoutouts.
Yes, sir. Hey, I've been to Australia. I've been to Lima. Raiders gear. I'm like, what? Raiders hat? There's no such thing. You guys play rugby in Australia. Guy had a Raiders hat. Had to take pictures with him. And then, hey, last but not least, don't forget, man, shout out Afakasi Raider, bro. AR. I don't know if you are familiar with AR.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know AR. Yeah, exactly.
He's very into the details and the history and tying it all together.
Dude, and he's got to be into it because when he's on our streams, man, are you kidding me? It's like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock.
Grinding him out,
grinding them out with us. So yeah, Collis, I'm glad you're excited, man, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not. Hopefully we can turn this 29-year drought around.
It's a new direction. They're doing new things, so
I'm not saying that to be negative. It's just I think they made some mistakes in terms of where they hired the experience because our roster is so bad. Our roster is bad. It's not a roster you want to give to a rookie anything coach coordinator. Period. And I think
a lot of holes, a lot of gaps.
There's way too many gaps, and I think that's where we messed up. And that's why we set ourselves back a little bit in this process. Right? If we would have done things right, I would have agreed with 2 to 3 years, and now we potentially contended, right? Looking at the trajectory of like the Commanders. Tough division, right? It's a tough division. You got the Giants, the Cowboys, right? And then the Eagles. That is a tough division. It's kind of similar to ours. But we just don't have the depth. We don't have anything remotely close to the rest of the team's rosters that exist in our division. And I think it's a recipe for disaster for a rookie coach. And he's going to be caught trying to do too much, right? Trying to please the fans, This is a long process. This is where we thought Pete would be able to, weather the storm. But he came in with this fairy tale nonsense of thinking he's going to win 10 games again instead of being realistic.
The part about pleasing the fans, I think that's where Kubiak might stand out as being a little bit different than the previous regimes. I think for instance, he would have been a guy that drafts a Jalen Carter.
Right.
Not necessarily that's pleasing the fans.
I hope so, but the problem is, will they let him? That's the other, right? Underline.
I think Mark would, and it's really up to Spytech. That's Mark is going to put faith in these guys, and it's ultimately up to how Spytech and Kubiak develop a relationship. It didn't really work with AP and Tom Telesco and kind of got blown up, but I think their personalities are clicking thus far, so there's kind of hope there that the GM and the head coach will be on the same page.
Yep. No, I'm with you. 8:05. We're gonna be the hated trade back cool in Pittsburgh. I'm gonna be loud about it. You and me both, brother. We are going to be screaming at the top of our lungs. Trade this thing back. Trade it back. Silvio 0. Yeah, Kick. Tomcats on Kick said he wants to stream with you. He's live right now. Shout out to Tomcats, man. Tell him to come through, man. Yeah, we'd love to see him over here. I don't know who Tomcats is, but yeah. Come on through, buddy.
I assume he's Raiders knowledge.
Yeah, I know, right? DM me, I'll send you. Collis said, I wanted Clint Kubiak in Miami. Hey, a lot of people are very, very happy with Clint Kubiak in this choice. A lot of people wanted him. I know Rundown was happy with him. I just think he's a rookie. And we don't need a rookie with this roster. That's my honest to God's truth. I don't have any faith in our front office doing what's necessary in free agency, because that's going to be the key. Forget the draft. If we don't do what's necessary in free agency.
Well, what sort of moves would make you feel better about the direction they're heading as far as free agency?
We need a seasoned offensive line. If you're going rookie quarterback, right, you already don't have a number one wide receiver, number two wide receiver. You only have one running back. You're going to need another running back, right? You're good at tight end, but that's the thing. That's where I'm at with it. It's just a lot of holes to fill, but where you have to address is that offensive front line. You need guards, not a guard. You need guards.
Yeah, the Browns released Wyatt Teller. That's a pretty high-end guard, potentially. Is that someone you would be interested in?
I would be interested in anyone, but coming from the Browns, we'd have to really assess that, right? Is he one of those guys that missed blocks on purpose, or
he's just older? That's the thing.
Well, see, we got Alex Kappa.
Yeah, he's already under contract. That's true. That's kind of what I figure is why go more heavy on the draft, even at offensive line, is because we got the vet already signed. Alex Kappa is supposed to be the mentor, the teacher.
But he's garbage. He's garbage. And
he got better as the season went along, which kind of makes me think he was out of shape to start the season. Like he might have just not been in football shape.
I don't like him. I never liked him. I thought it was a terrible pick. I thought it was how can that be the only thing you do in free agency? And you have literally one of the worst lines in football.
Teller was a 3-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro nominations. 31. He might have a few years left in the tank, but I'm not sure why he'd want to come here. That's kind of the bigger question. It
wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't make sense. Like you said, he wants to go somewhere where he can win.
At 31, you're kind of looking for a team that's playoff ready.
Correct.
Unless you're getting the bag, which I don't want to be giving out bags to
31-year-old. Yeah, we're done with the Raider scholarships, as Rundown calls it. Raider scholarships. Yeah, we're done with those. I never liked the Alex Kappa move. I have not liked anything we've done in free agency. I have not liked anything we've done in the draft. I'm still grasping at a pick that I could say, you know what, I was very happy with that. Not one. Yeah, I'm trying.
I thought you liked the linebacker from your town.
Yeah, I did. I like Minnesota. I agree. That's one, and he came in the 7th round?
Yeah, it's one of those picks where you feel good because those are the backbones of the team. You need guys like that who are going to grind and push everyone else.
Correct.
But he's not a super high-end instant day one contributor, but it's a pick that you at least have confidence in.
Right. And Lindenberg,
for the value.
Yeah, Lindenberg is going to do just fine. He's depth, right? That's what I'm saying. At least we have something there that we know we can build on. And, he can give you a breather. He can, do some things, special teams, right?
Yeah, those are football players.
He's a football player. He's a football player. I agree. That's interesting.
And that sets the cultural tone for the rosters. If you have the roster filled with enough true football players, then you can start to risk.
And he can move. Backbone. I would lean at him being more of a safety / linebacker mentality. Lindenberg. Yeah, and I'm telling you,
fluid mover.
And he looked great in college. I had already stated that.
Did you see him in person? Like you were at the games and you saw him. Yeah?
I did.
And he stood out on the field as a guy.
Him as well as what was it? What is his name? The other defensive end, that we drafted. We drafted a defensive end from Minnesota too, but he didn't make the team. He got cut.
Interesting.
And then they're stacked offensive and skill positions. Minnesota is stacked, period. With the exception of quarterback. They just paid big time for a quarterback. But they've always.
You're talking about an NIL they paid in a transfer deal, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
But they've always been stacked at the skill position. Wide receivers, running backs, right? I mean,
I really like their lineman who went to Texas. That was Ursery. He stood out.
Yes, he was a monster. Yeah,
he could you could spot him on the field, Ursery? Yeah.
Big time. Man, Minnesota has some talent, but PJ Fleck, he brings talent. People want to run through a brick wall for that man, and rightfully so. I love PJ Fleck. I wish I could have played for him. PJ Fleck type guy.
Interesting. What is his style of coaching? Is he he's aggressive in his style?
He's aggressive for sure. He's very aggressive. He doesn't consider himself to be a motivator. He actually believes he already gets those type of kids that's the last thing they need.
They're already bought in 100.
Yeah. But yeah, he's got it all in my opinion. He's got the rah-rah, he's got the intensity. I like intensity coaches. I think your team is going to follow.
Feed off that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with a cerebral team that wins, right? I mean, look at Cignetti. And in fact, that's probably the one that wins more than often, right? Is the cerebral,
Yeah, Cignetti, as you said, he's a smart guy, but super focused.
Right. Don't show any emotion, right? Always on even keel, unlike somebody like myself where I'm wearing everything on my sleeve. Running around screaming like a banshee. Like, that's
right.
So
there's so many styles to coaching. And
there is.
That's why fit is so important with player and coach fit. You
I
can take a first-round guy who has all the talent in the world, and he'll bust because he just doesn't fit the team roster needs. So you need the scouts to be reading the room and making the right picks.
Correct, man. Correct. You are absolutely right.
That's why I hope we stack the board in the draft towards Rob Leonard, because I think he is a development coach. He's someone who can take rookies and get the best out of them. And so if his calling card is not going to necessarily be a scheme right away, but rather development, that's where we should be leaning, is getting guys with high ceilings and letting them put in work and let the scheme kind of follow.
So where do you lean towards in terms of draft strategy? Are you looking? You're looking for both trade back and Max?
I would trade Max to a place like the Lions for a first, second, third. I don't think 2 firsts is realistic, but I think getting a trio of picks would make it worthwhile for both teams, because then the Lions aren't feeling like they're sacrificing their future for a player with some risk, but they're also getting a player that's a perfect fit for their team and their current win-now situation. And then I think we could do a lot of work with the first, second, and third round pick in this draft. I think the second and third round are really where there's a lot of value. And the Lions pick is 17 overall. You could get a guy like Sonny Styles potentially, or a Caden McDonald, and those guys are going to be day one contributors and high floor contributors. Caden McDonald would be a dream. He's an Ohio State defensive tackle. Like, that's kind of what we need right now.
Yes.
And
something that's guaranteed, no miss.
He's going to control both gaps. He's going to collapse the pocket. He's super powerful. He's got NFL power. I'm hesitant on a guy like Peter Woods at Clemson. He's got the athleticism, the explosiveness, but he doesn't have NFL power. And I think you want to get a guy who has that baseline power to control gaps. Because otherwise the team's going to run all over you every time.
Exactly. Those trenches, buddy, they're very important.
If you're going against a guy like Gray Zabel, Seattle's team, you need a guy who can match his power. Otherwise, you're getting pancaked. So Caden McDonald fits the bill for me.
Yeah.
So if I were trading Max, those are the kinds of guys I would target around that pick.
Looking for,
high defensive talent.
What are you going to do in free agency? All right, what are you looking to do with that money?
I'm only bringing in guys who want to be here. I'm looking for guys who want to be here, not collect the bag.
Who would want to be here, though? That's part of the problem. Who? Like, seriously, who would want to be here like that? Makes sense for this team.
I think Kubiak probably has certain guys that want to play under him on offense specifically. So I don't know who those guys are potentially, but whoever's gravitating towards Kubiak, I would pay them fairly. I would try to avoid overpaying them, but if they're honestly coming out of their way to be here, then maybe you pay a little more.
A little bit of extra.
Yeah, just because the Kubiak connection, you kind of lean into that and hope that you're attracting guys that want to be playing under him, and make use of the fact that he's kind of the hot commodity because he's coming off the Super Bowl. I'm not going after the big names or the big payday guys. That's just not in our cards right now. But guys who want to be here, that's who I'm paying in free agency. Otherwise, I'm leaning on the draft and ideally trading back, stacking picks.
We have 7 this draft right now?
I think we might have more than that because we got some extra from compensation picks.
Right, that's what so maybe what? Let me see.
It was like Maybe 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, where's the...
Let's see.
10? 10 picks?
We got 10.
I think so.
Yep, 10 picks in total. We got 10 in total. So, I mean, that's 5 and 5 if you're going to go on both sides of the ball, but it's going to be a struggle.
I would like to get more picks in the top 100.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I don't know, right? Because that's
especially for offensive and defensive lines.
Yeah.
The only kind of we already have our development picks in Rogers and Grant. So if we're getting anything on the offensive line, it needs to be one of the top guys. Kind of steering away from development guys.
Correct. No, I agree, man.
Where I would draft lower down is wide receiver as opposed to higher up. There's some guys later in the draft that I think could be contributors and on special teams as well.
Right.
High-end contributors.
Our problem, though, is we don't have a number one wide receiver, man. I don't think you get that out of the draft.
No, we're not, and that's kind of where I'm looking next year is potentially bringing in wide receivers. I think we need to let Besh and Thornton get as much burn as possible, and see what we have in Tucker too, because he's going to be needing to be re-signed potentially.
I am completely over Thornton and Besh.
Have they gotten any burn though? It's kind of like Gino was under pressure and not really able to deliver the ball. And
I didn't like anything I saw out of Thornton. Nothing. I'd take Besh over Thornton, and you already know how I feel about Besh.
I like Thornton's frame. I like his running ability, but he doesn't have twitch or cutting ability, so it's kind of capping his potential to grow unless he can develop that.
I'm gonna just say it, man, and I'm gonna be a little vulgar. Kids, close your. He's a bitch to me. He's not physical. I just don't like him. I don't like.
Okay.
He plays like a bitch to me.
That's not good for football.
That's what I'm saying. There's nothing. You have a frame, but you're not physical. You can only really run straight lines. I just don't.
That's tough.
And to be fair, it's probably not his fault because we have such idiots in terms of fans that was constantly trying to compare him to Randy Moss. It's like, come on, guys. Come on. This kid.
It's tough because we drafted him so high. I think if we drafted him in like the 5th, 6th, 7th round, there would be a lot more
leniency. That's why I hate him and Besh both. You got drafted too high. You're supposed to come in and hit the ground running at 2nd and 4th.
No.
I mean, hit the ground running.
Yeah, those guys got to be day one contributors in these modern drafts.
They couldn't even find the pavement, man, let alone hitting it running.
There's a guy in this upcoming draft who I think would be an ideal development wide receiver who's going to go 7th round, potentially undrafted. That's Barrion Brown. He played with Kentucky. And he's a guy who's not polished at wide receiver at all, but right away, day one, he comes in at special teams and is potentially Devin Hester. His special teams return ability is perhaps the best in the draft.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, I'm not saying it lightly. I truly believe he's going to get touchdowns on special teams. So that's if you're drafting a guy in the 7th and he's getting a touchdown at special teams, right away, fans are going to love him, and that's going to help him develop at wide receiver because you build confidence through support and through belief and all these narratives and having the opportunity ultimately. And sticking at special teams earns you that opportunity.
Right.
Another guy I really like is Dion Burks. He's a small guy, but he's ultra athletic. He's got explosiveness. He wins off the line. He's got a huge catch radius despite his small size. I like him way more than Trey Tucker. Like, I would trade Trey Tucker to New England, and I would draft Deion Burks to replace him.
Wow. That's saying a lot, man. That's saying a lot. You know, Trey Tucker's a fan, a room favorite here, man. Shout out to
I think Trey Tucker has potential. I think he should go play with Josh McDaniels.
Right. I know what you mean.
I think the quarterback there would be a fit with him.
Drake.
Yeah, Drake May and Trey Tucker could develop a connection.
Yeah.
Another wide receiver I really like is Malachi Fields potentially.
Yeah, I know about Malachi.
I'm biased to Notre Dame, but I think having guys that can block as well, that's kind of going to be fitting our kind of offensive scheme a little more than even a Burks. He's not really known for his blocking, but a Fields, he can do everything. So.
Shout out to Leo, Cheeto Linus, Notre Dame in the building.
Yeah. Any opportunity to get another one of those guys, that's potentially interesting.
Right. No, absolutely.
But yeah, the top end of wide receivers, I don't think we're going to be in a position draft-wise to be making use of those guys.
No. We're not. We're not coming close. We're not.
Like a Jordan Tyson. As nice as it would be, I think it's high risk as well, like with injuries and such.
Of course, and then we have no quarterback for him to get the ball thrown to him. I mean, because you're not getting him in the second round. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen at all.
As far as quarterbacks, like I think next year is likely the year to be investing in a quarterback, and this year I think it's better to roll with Aiden O'Connell, see what you have in him, and see what he can do with.
People would hate me, but I'm at this point, man. I'd rather him than the Cuban. I'd rather Aiden O'Connell than this new kid, and that's what happened anyways. Coach Gravy in the building. Makai Lemon is my guy for the Raiders. I like that. Salute.
I don't know what I've done here. I've clicked a bunch of things.
Yeah, it just pops it up on the screen.
Okay.
Hope it's all good. Shout out to Gravy, man. Appreciate you for coming through, man. Hope you enjoy the show. I ain't been in these streets that much lately, Gravy, so I haven't gotten a chance to see a lot of people's content, but I'm traveling, man. I'll be back in the mix here shortly. As soon as I can get on a real flight, I'm bootleg with Frontier, man. They don't have Wi-Fi. Come on,
2026, no Wi-Fi.
You know why, right? Exactly. Like, come on,
They're nickel and diming.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. But
the part about O'Connell is that I would like to give some of these smaller school guys with high ceilings a look against O'Connell and just let the battle play out. And next year, maybe take a shot at a high-end talent quarterback.
Exactly, because we'll be better off. We'll have more, people.
Positions will sort itself out.
Yes, and we won't need as much. We won't need a whole team on both sides of the ball. You know what I'm saying? We'll be filling a few holes, not all of them. All right, this is we are running up to 2 full hours. 2 full hours. This is a great show, bro.
Yeah, we covered a lot here.
We covered a ton, and I'm going to have a ton of clips. I'm going to clip this up immediately. I'm going to start this one. I'll be pumping out a lot, and in fact, I'm trying to get Chop Hub up and running. When I say that, what I mean is actually up and running for the public.
Oh, okay. You launched
it. So I think you will see it be very consistent in terms of me pushing out, probably 5 to 7 videos a day.
Cool.
And once that scheduling and everything flushes out, you guys might see Chop Hub coming at a computer near you. So that's my plug for tonight, Chop Hub. Tomorrow,
That
obviously.
Chop Up sounds like a social event. Maybe you could run a Raiders event around that in Texas.
I know, right? Right?
Yeah.
See? They're just thinking.
There's some opportunities. A collab with Woodson Whiskey and Chop Up.
Right?
Pretty interesting.
I'm telling you. Sounds great. So we got that tomorrow night, the Ultimate Raider Fan 32 show. My Wednesdays have been hijacked by my sons. We got basketball and track and field Wednesday night, so I don't know when I'll be able to get back to the knockout canvas in a timely fashion, if you will. Hopefully sooner than later. Then last but not least, again, I'm not traveling this week, but last week I was tired. Wait, no, I was traveling last week. It's the week before that I was home. But this week, I am at home Thursday night, dead in the water. Boy, Turf and Spence, man. We'll be doing our thing. And yeah, man, like I say, Pigs, this is our day, bro.
Yeah, Mondays is cool.
Mondays is our day. We'll keep bringing you guys all this content. Yeah, I think you'll definitely like the clips now. I got things sorted out. We're getting some real good optimal titles, and it's a little bit more sophisticated using legit AI for free, I might add. Yeah, Turf knows. I use a lot of open source, a lot of freeware. It's nice, sure, to have OpenAI and all the others, Gemini, and pay for it, but it's freeware, ladies and gentlemen. Freeware.
Just before we close out our sesh here, just because we've been talking about Minnesota a bunch, I wanted to rep Jack Strand again. He's the quarterback from Moorhead.
Yeah.
Which is in Minnesota. Minnesota State, Moorhead Dragons.
Yeah.
So the small school to the big school. And that's the kind of guy I would like to see go against O'Connell.
That would be
in competition.
Yeah.
Like he's 6'5", 240 pounds. That's, not far off of O'Connell, but he's he's got a power arm and he's a processor.
Right.
He just hasn't had the big stage opportunity to prove it.
Correct.
And I think the locker room dynamic would be really interesting with him and O'Connell battling. And may the best man win kind of deal.
Yep. Nope, I agree with you, man. I agree with you. Yeah, and hey guys, we're just scratching the surface. We will be pulling out way more names, right? We will be having all kinds of things in terms of free agencies, right? Mock drafts. Shout out to Rundown, man. I saw today he was using some kind of software in terms of, cutting players and kind of building out the roster. I'll have to holler at him on that, and we'll start incorporating that throughout the shows now moving forward too, right? It's
that'd be cool.
To see how we can repetitively do that and see what comes out, and how often we continue to get the same thing or lean towards something different as time goes by.
Yeah, for sure. A bit of gamification, kind of adding layers to it.
Yes, sir. All right, man. Well, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, we'll catch y'all on the flip side. Peace.
Think you're both of you big